Hello and welcome. You're tuned into Market Cafe right here on ET Now. I'm Srishti Sharma and with me is Kanishka, and a lot's been happening in not just the Indian markets but global across. We'll get you ready for today's trading session and also tell you which are the stocks that you should be watching out for along with the top stories that we are tracking this morning. So let's get started. And Kanishka, firstly, let's start with what's happened in the US markets overnight. Tell us more on that.
Absolutely, Srishti. Very good morning to you, first of all. Well, Wall Street has largely been steady as the street is looking to cap a strong September. This is despite the risk of a government shutdown. Now, remember, Dow futures, they slipped just about 3 points. S&P 500 futures were off about 0.02%. Nasdaq futures, they eased also just about 0.03%. Now, overnight, US stocks did close higher with AI and tech names rebounding. The Dow Jones Industrial Average that gained about 70 points to reach that 46,316 level. On the other hand, the S&P 500 that also rose about 17 points to that 6,660 odd level. And on the other hand, the Nasdaq that jumped more than 100 points to reach that 22,560 odd level. However, uncertainty continues to loom. Now, a government shutdown deadline on October 1st that could delay key data, including Friday's jobs report, and may put fresh pressure on U.S. credit ratings. Now, U.S. President Donald Trump has warned of possible federal layoffs if talks fail. Now, remember, even so, September has been strong for the U.S. markets. The S&P 500 is up about 3%. The Dow is up about 1.5%, whereas the Nasdaq that has rallied more than 5% in just September. Now, for the quarter, the S&P 500 is up 7.4%, the Nasdaq nearly 11%, and the Dow that's on track for a fifth straight gain there. So the focus now shifts to Washington. Negotiations, economic data, and tech earnings, they are all going to be the key drivers heading into this quarter. So that's about the US markets, largely steady moves coming in. But Srishti, how are things looking on the crude front?
Oh, quite interesting, Kanishka, because just overnight we have seen a fall of 3% on Brent crude oil prices because there's a region in Iran named Kurdistan that has resumed the exports, and maybe because of that we have seen a bit of a pressure because the supply was seen to be resuming. On the other hand, the traders are expecting another OPEC plus oil output hike. So all in all, the supply is expected to be more in the markets. That was seen to be putting a bit of a pressure on the crude oil prices. As of now, it's trading around that $66.5 per barrel mark. Along with that, the rally in the gold oil prices, that is definitely not stopping at all because gold was seen to be surpassing above that $3,800 per ounce mark, and as of now is trading close to $3,869 per ounce mark, and that's for the first time ever that we are seeing such a number. Of course, the weaker and the Fed rate cut bets, that is something that is still driving the gold prices surging higher. So quite interesting moves coming in on the Brent crude oil price as well as gold. Kanishka.